scathing from Omar Abdullah. I want to just take Nilakantan back before I come to Sriram. Go ahead. You heard the distinction between Hindi and Hindutva, and I think it's an important one.
Yeah. So, I just want to make this point very clear, right? The reason why the BJP is perceived as a North Indian party, and even in Karnataka, and because of which, we spoke about Mr. Yadurappa's party being slightly different from the BJP itself. The reason for that is that there is a sort of what a communist theorists would call, whatever common sense they call, Gramscian common sense, right? In that people sort of identify with their sort of, quote unquote tribe. And in that tribal understanding, the simple assumption, it is true for all of Southern India that there is a sense that we are unequal partners in the union. And given that we are unequal partners in the union, and nobody's arguing that all 5 southern states are the same. No, nobody's making that case. However, in the resource allocation problems, they all lie below the regression line. And it is not my argument again.
But sorry, I have a clarification. If it's about the sense of inequality in the resource allocation, that could be just as true if there was a strong Congress government at the center.
It is absolutely true, which is the reason why, the Congress party has not formed government in my home state of Tamil Nadu. And it is not the first choice probably for many of the other southern states as well. However, when it comes to a BJP versus Congress sort of straight, fight, the assumption being the BJP being an explicitly Hindi party as opposed to the Congress, having some version of an Nehruvian idea of India, which is slightly less antagonistic to their interests, is true. But be that as it may, the point that I want to make here is when Karti Chidambaram or Praveen Chakravarty or whoever it is, when they make this idea of South versus North divide, they mean very different things. They are not in the context of dividing. What they mean is the pocketbook interests of the southern voter is very different from the pocketbook interests of the northern voter, and the way in which the average voter identifies and sort of aligns with the political party that they think is in their corner, so to speak, is very different. Which is why the southern voter.
I understand your emphasis, and I want to take that to Sriram. Your emphasis is not on which party between the Congress and the BJP can do better in the southern states. Your emphasis, Nilakantan, is on the voter and the voter's perception, as it were, of a kind of over-centralized politics that leaves these states out in resource allocation. And the important point being made, Sriram, here is the point that Yashwant Deshmukh also made, that it's not as if outside of Kerala, the Congress is a player in any of these states. Yes, it's become a player now in Telangana, but it's taken a while. It's taken a while for the Congress and it had some dormant roots maybe in its cadres in the south compared to the north. But I think that's an important point that Nilakantan made, that the emphasis is on parties where he's talking about the voter.
Barkha, like I said, Hindutva is a very comprehensive philosophy comprising everything. It's a one-stop solution. A lot of people subscribe to it. The problem is not finding an answer to it. Congress is tempted, and many parties will be tempted, especially parties where families run, that the next generation would easily tend to go towards this extreme rabid vote for a solution and answer. And that would be the undoing of anybody, because most people are centrist by nature. There is a little of a left slant from an economic perspective and a right slant towards cultural and religious sentiments. That's how most voters are. You have to look to the voter reasonably similar to them for them to trust you. It's like the way you dress shouldn't be too different from them. The way you speak shouldn't be too different from them. Your sense of religion, sense of faith shouldn't be too different from them. If you do it only before elections for 4 weeks, it won't work. Let me tell you, Barkha, more than anything, when you perceive we are less than 6 months away from 2024, I know it will come as very bad news to you and me. Because 180 days, we are hoping there will be a big debate, fierce debate, who will win, who will win. I'm sorry to say, when you look at 2 cricket teams, the way they walk into the field, or a football team, you have to look like a winner to go on to win, especially where people will decide.
Why is it bad news to us? We're journalists. We're just telling the story.
Because there's no debate about who will win in 2024.
Oh, you're saying it's a one-sided story, so it's a boring story.
If it is Modi on one side, yes, and India Alliance and the kind of things they're saying, and we have 150 days to go, and you are going to talk about Marxist theories, and defend Dayanidhi, Junior
Udayanidhi.
Stalin's comment.
Yeah.
Please, this country, you have to, this is all I'm saying, draw your average voter. Just like artists say, who
But
do you write the novel for?
Sriram, just to be fair, Nilakantan made the point that a generation of leaders in the DMK and the AIDMK would have said the same thing.
That's why I said it works in Tamil Nadu. Let them speak. It's very easy to say a lot of things against Ram in Tamil Nadu, but he can't say against Muruga. I'm sure Nilakantan will agree, but I'm not even talking about Tamil Nadu. My point is this: draw an average voter. For a politician to win their faith, you have to be closer to them, both in terms of deep rooted how you are, and Modi is more Indian to more Indians than Rahul Gandhi. And that's the end of the story. So yes,
that's
Telangana Congress won, brilliant victory. Karnataka, they won. BJP will do very well in these two states. Don't say BJP. If BJP is not good here, it's because they speak Hindi and we have other languages. The day BJP leaders start speaking 3 languages, they'll have a better chance. I'm not saying we are against Hindi. We like people who can speak minimum 3 languages. Let's put it that way.
Okay, I'll come to Nilakantan and then I want to take last comments on Rahul Gandhi, whom we've not spoken about at all, after Nilakantan makes his point. Go ahead, Nilakantan.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that, you cannot, the idea of being against the quote-unquote Sanatan Dharma is a foundational principle of the DMK. You cannot be a DMK leader and not say that. That is the reason the
DMK has the luxury. Sorry.
Sriram,
DMK has the luxury that it can afford
Sriram, let him. Sriram, just a second. Let him just make his point and then you can react. Nilakantan, please complete your point.
The point is that it is not my. I don't hold the DMK's brief. But the point is that it is not the DMK's role to make elect the Congress in Delhi. The DMK exists for its own sake, right? And it has an ideological position, and it is doing its job, right? Now, it is if suddenly 100 years later, voters in Jodhpur and like Bhopal have woken up, and because of the BJP sort of spinning machine, they've sort of figured that, oh my God, they are like that and like whatever. Like, hey, that's the state of India. That it is not the DMK's job to install a Congress government.
Okay. Brief interjection, Sriram. I have to move on to the others.
30 seconds. It is totally a luxury of DMK. They can say whatever they want because they control 39 Lok Sabha seats. Good for them. But it's the problem for Congress. Don't forget, in Mahabharata, Karna was killed not because he was a bad guy, because he chose to associate with Duryodhana. The association of Congress, which wants to fight in Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, if they are seen as aligned to DMK, even on this issue, you won't get punished and penalized for abusing in Tamil Nadu severely politically. But in Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan,
the debate carries through.
Haryana, you will be.
With respect, the South is currently dominating the North in this program. I do have to go to the others. Sriram, I can see that little thumbs up there because you were complaining till yesterday that we were not giving our guests from the southern states enough time. So